tiny country linking two vast continents. A tropical corridor between two great oceans. A people defined by nature.
Oh, this is something amazing, guys. This is a glass frog.
This is Costa Rica.
Well, these are ridiculously cute. Hello.
I'm Gaia Vince. I explore and write about our changing planet and what we humans can do to protect our natural world.
This is why I'm not at home moaning about the state of the planet. You know, this gives me hope.
I'm heading for a country that's made saving the planet a matter of national pride.
I don't want to brag, but maybe I should.
A national grid fueled by rivers and volcanoes.
Go back to the river, my friend.
500,000 different species.
I mean, they're so ancient, they're like dinosaurs.
The happiest, most sustainable country in the world.
Gracias. This is the life.
I'm packing my bags for Costa Rica.
Pura vida.
Last year, the Happy Planet Index announced that Costa Ricans are the happiest people in the world. Not only that, they also live longer than their American neighbours, despite having just a fraction of their material wealth. As a science writer, I want to understand what makes Costa Ricans so extraordinary. And I want to find out what the rest of us can learn from them. I'm here with my whole family, so we can properly immerse ourselves in this remarkable place.
So they're going to go in the sea, go and do some fishing.
What's fish in Spanish, darling?
Pescado.
Pescado, very good. See you soon. Nicoya can have a cuddle.
Life expectancy is high all over Costa Rica.
Be careful.
Good luck.
Oh, no.
Go back, baby.
But here on the Nicoya Peninsula, the locals live longer than almost anywhere else on the planet.
Hola, buenas. Yeah. Hola. So I'm driving to a little village just outside of Nicoya, which is the capital of this peninsula, the Nicoya Peninsula. And there's more 100-year-olds that live here than almost anywhere else on Earth.
I've arranged to meet a 99-year-old cowboy called Pachito, a local man who's spent his whole life ranching cattle here.
Pachito really does live in the middle of nowhere.
This is the heart of Costa Rican caballero culture.
This is cowboy country. They still ranch, they still use horses to get everywhere. Hola. And to round up their cattle. Ah, little yellow church, so there should be a little yellow house on the right. Ah, there it is. How cute, what a lovely garden.
The Nicoya Peninsula is one of the world's recognised blue zones. There are 5 of these zones located around the world. Places where people live much longer and remain active into old age.
Hola, Pachito.
Hola, mi corazón.
Con mucho gusto.
Ay,
Hola.
¿quiere ir a andar a caballo conmigo?
¿Así? Por favor. Sí, sí.
Con gusto la llevo.
Okay. Yeah?
Meta más. Ay.
Okay, I'm up.
Es que le dejan muy poco pelo también.
Now, I'm no jockey, But when a 99-year-old cowboy offers to take you riding into the Costa Rican outback, you've got to give it a go.
I'm just going to follow you. Oh, I think my horse is thirsty.
Pachito's family all live close by. He visits them and his friends, some much older than him, every day.
Nos vamos, corazón.
He even takes part in local horse shows. Not bad for a man born in the middle of the First World War.
¿Qué es eso? No los jalemos, no los jalemos.
Pachito, por favor. Sí, oh, muchas gracias. Oh. Gracias. Hola, buenas.
On the ride down here, Pachito was telling me that he's lived in this village all his life. It's a really poor village, and yet life expectancy here is so much higher than very near neighbour, the United States, which is the richest country in the world. So I guess it tells you that something they're doing here, they're doing right. He was talking about the tranquillo, you know, the stress-free, tranquil life, and I think that's got a lot to do with it. Longevity studies have found that while genes are important to living longer, they're just 25% of the equation. The rest is down to lifestyle. In the world's blue zones, staying active, eating plenty of vegetables and managing stress are key. Pachito's neighbour, Maria, believes there is another vital ingredient.
Porque nosotros los guanacastecos, Nicoya, todos, acostamos temprano, estarse tarde a la 1, a las 12 de la noche, un desvelo.
And you wake early?
Eso sí.
A las 3, a las 4.
¿Por qué? ¿Por qué?
Porque es saludable la mañana. Levantarse a las 11 o a las 10, malo, enferma.
The sun sets early in Costa Rica, and we're preparing dinner before 6. Pachito's son-in-law is cooking our fish al fresco.
Uno le llama a la leña, que la comida sabe diferente. Aquí se pone frijoles, aquí usted puede poner el arroz, todo lo que uno cocina en cocina eléctrica, todo.
Okay.
Todos los días, cuando vengo del trabajo, yo me vengo con mi hija, para donde Paulina y a donde Pachito, a acompañarlo. Todo es como una tradición.
Poco arroz. Sí. Tell me when. More.
Ya.
Búsquele al lado donde no estén las que digamos, no hay espinas, pero la posta, como él no tiene dientitos.
Paulina, Pachito's daughter, lives with her dad and keeps a close eye on his diet.
So you're eating this every single day, the same thing, more or less?
Arroz y frijoles.
Arroz y frijoles, huevo, carne cuando se va a Nicoya, se consigue.
En 100 años que voy a cumplir, si Dios lo permite, yo no sé por qué he vivido tanto yo. Porque, digamos, yo no me cuidé para decir que porque se cuida uno. Yo fui borracho para andar y jugador.
Good for you. Salud!
Salud.
Pachito's cowboy lifestyle has kept him active and in touch with nature. He told me that these days his horse is his legs. At 99 years of age, Pachito is still an important, vital member of his family dynamic.
Pachito, muchas gracias por tu hospitalidad, Muchas gracias.
Adiós.
Adios!
Pachito is astonishingly active at his advanced age, but he's not at all unusual around here. It's inspiring just to be around these people.
I'm really trying to understand, what makes this peninsula, what makes Nicoya so special.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen, all for free. No subscription required.
I've come to Nicoya town in Costa Rica's Guanacaste province. I'm trying to understand why people here are amongst the happiest and most long-lived in the world. And researchers think one of the reasons might be their faith. It's mid-December and I've come to one of the area's most popular religious festivals. As always in Costa Rica, it involves a very early start.
It's really quite an assault on the senses, actually. Smoke in my eyes, and there's like this singing and this praying and this kind of, it almost sounds like chanting going on. It feels mystical.
I'm spending the day working with the women here in the cofradia. Part chapel, part kitchen, it's the focal point of the 3-day La Yaguita festival in honour of the Virgin Mary.
This really strong smell of garlic and cilantro, coriander, it's filling the air, and then at the same time there's chanting. It feels like we're building up to something quite big here.
Está en piedra.
Oh! Coffee gone. It's not even dawn yet, and these women have been working here, I think, for several hours. I mean, I struggle to get up, but there's so much busyness here, there's so much activity that it's actually waking me up.
All of the produce is donated by nearby farms, and the cooks I'm working with prepare and serve the food for free.
How much do I need of this? Like this?
Así, pero no muy grande.
He says there's only 1.5 cows in here, but it feels like an awful lot of meat from just 1.5 cows. How many people is this going to feed?
Unas 70, 80 personas.
Really, 70 or 80 people?
70 or 80 people, exactamente.
27-year-old Daniela Pinar has been coming to the cofradia since she was a little girl.
Nicoya is a blue zone because the people living more years and more than 100 years.
That's why I've come. So I'm trying to find out why. Do you think the Virgin's got anything to do with it?
Yes, because a lot of old people working for her.
Yes,
Yes.
loads. So all those people working for her, you think that will mean that they live longer? Or?
Yes.
Everyone in the village appears to have a part to play in the celebrations. But the ultimate honour is dressing up the Madonna for the procession. And this year, that accolade falls to Gaby Briceño.
Aquí es donde vamos a vestir la muñequita que baila la yegua. Te invito a pasar.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
Eso se elige por medio de votación. Es importante por agradecimiento a la Virgen de promesas.
Disculpa, es muy importante, muy importante. Sí, creo que yo veo.
Listo. ¿Ahora? Dani, ya. Aquí está la muñequita. Nos vamos. De Mari.
Blue Zone researchers found that people who attend a religious service more than 4 times a month are less stressed and less anxious than non-believers. It's an interesting thought. The procession makes its way through the town to the cofradía, where the people of Nicoya pay their respects to the men and women who've been up all night cooking for them.
There's a whole line of really hungry people there.
It seems to me that La Yaguita Festival is providing this community with a reason to get together and celebrate common bonds. But it's also giving people a sense of personal pride. From the cooks to those who dress the Madonna, even those who dress like a horse, they feel special. Everyone sees them. For me, that's the magic of La Yaguita. Now it's back to my home in the jungle to collect the family for the next leg of our journey.
Yeah, we're going on an adventure, aren't we?
I'm going to come with you too.
Yes, you are.
Another reason researchers think Costa Ricans are so content is their deep connection with their natural environment. And nowhere demonstrates this better than the remote, sleepy village of Ostienal, whose inhabitants' lives are entwined with an endangered species of turtle. The village's beach is the most important nesting site of olive ridley turtles in the Americas. Hundreds of thousands of them mysteriously arrive in unison several times a year to lay millions of their eggs together. It's called an arribada, and it's one of the most remarkable natural phenomena on the planet.
This might be it up here, going, do you think?
Yeah, pizzeria, yeah, let's go
With the
there.
surfboard, yeah?
Yeah, let's stop there. That looks good.
The villagers work all year round to ensure the beach is kept clean for the turtles to lay their eggs. They employ guards to keep poachers and natural predators at bay. But it's also the only place in the world where people are allowed to collect, sell, and eat the eggs of the endangered turtles.
Hola, buenas.
Malena Vega helps to manage the arribada.
Es un placer conocerte.
Igualmente.
Es mi familia, es Nicola y esta Milena.
It's a totally legal practice here, and I'm told it benefits the turtles just as much as the humans.
Y mi hijo Kip. La próxima arribada, ¿cuándo hace y qué espero de eso?
Bueno, la esperamos para el 22 de diciembre. Y van a venir muchas tortugas, miles de miles.
The Ostienal egg trade has been monitored for 20 years. Analysis shows the number of turtles have remained stable. Ecologists believe keeping the beach free from debris helps the turtles to nest. Nick's gone to lend a hand.
Buenos días. Vamos a comenzar la limpieza de playa. Palos grandes, vamos a recoger y vamos a amontonar en partes donde se pueda quemar. Comencemos, muchachos.
Los hombres se encargan de hacer lo que es limpieza de playa, limpiar toda la madera que hay para que las tortugas pongan sin ningún problema.
Empezaron, sí.
Las mujeres, el otro rol que juegan las mujeres que es muy importante es la extracción. Ellos trabajan en la extracción de huevos.
Está bien, pero es un poco controversial, ¿no?
Pues siempre hemos tratado de que las cosas se aclaren, de que entiendan que lo que nosotros estamos haciendo es un bien, no estamos haciendo ningún daño. No hay otro lugar que haya un recurso tan importante en un proyecto como el que nosotros tenemos aquí en Ostional.
Es una labor que se da cada 8 días más o menos. Los sábados, cada sábado, próximo sábado, se da la limpieza también dependiendo de la cantidad de basura que el mar saque.
Es algo increíble lo que pasa cuando...
Nobody knows for sure why they've chosen to lay their eggs in Ostional, or exactly when the turtles will arrive.
Por favor, no, me llave
Es correcto.
cuando llevan.
Sí, yo la llamo.
Ahorita.
Yo la llamo. Yo la llamo.
Bien,
Con
bien.
mucho gusto.
Sí.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It is gorgeous.
Imagine what it's going to look like when all the turtles are coming in.
I know.
I've no idea how I will feel harvesting the eggs of the endangered turtles. But the bond between the people here and their natural world is very real. And I can't wait to learn more about it. I'm at home in Nisara, on Costa Rica's beautiful Pacific coast. Nick, Kip, Juno and I are all on turtle watch.
Come and look here, Guy. Look at all the turtle shells. Look. These are the egg shells of the turtle. Just here, look.
These ones are old ones on the... yeah, these ones have obviously gone.
They're really leathery, aren't they?
This is such a magical place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So beautiful.
The locals tell me that the mass nesting at Ostional often happens in the days before a new moon. That's still over a week away, so I'm keen to get back out into the field. I'm heading to meet members of one of Costa Rica's largest indigenous communities, the Bribri. They live in the Talamanca Indigenous Territory in the southwest corner of Costa Rica. It's one of the most isolated parts of the country. I'm just south of Limon now. It's on the Caribbean side, very different from where we've been. And I'm heading south, down the coast, towards the Panamanian border. You know, there's a lot of focus on all the extinctions that are going on around us, on the different animals and plants that we stand to lose. There's also a very real human extinction that's going on right under our noses, and we're losing cultural diversity. Everyone's eating the same food, wearing the same clothes. 30 years ago, the Bribri was struggling to preserve their way of life. I'm going going to meet a woman who has helped her village to re-embrace their traditional culture. If I can find the way. Okay, I think I'm in Bamboo. Let me just check on the hilariously hand-drawn map of a place that doesn't even exist on the proper maps. Yes, I reckon it is. So there should be a river here. I'm going to go and check. Hola. Hola, ¿qué tal? Aquí está Bambú, ¿sí? Sí. Ah, ¿y dónde está el río?
Está ahí para bajito de la calle.
¿Para acá? Sí. ¿Sí? Okay. Okay. Ciao. Gracias. Okay, I can see some people. Brilliant. The Farmers Depot provides a point of contact between modern Costa Rica and the Bribri upriver. It's always so difficult getting hold of people when there's no signal. But Cesar said he would meet me here by the boat. I'm always slightly wary of walking through sugarcane because it's a favourite place for snakes. And there are some quite scary ones in Costa Rica. Bedlants, coral snakes, rattlesnakes. Cesar? Hola, mucho gusto.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Ya vámonos.
Vámonos, let's go.
It takes an hour to travel 8 beautiful miles from Bamboo to the Bribri village. The Yauquin River is a natural border between Costa Rica and Panama. So there's Bribri here in Panama and also here in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
¿Tu pueblo es en Panama o es en...?
Panamá, los dos. Mi padre es...
Tu padre es de Panamá y tu mamá...
madre es...
Ah, de Costa Rica. Gracias, Iván. Ah, qué lindo.
La escuela típico de nosotros. Suita se llama el techo. Yeah, this is my mother.
Bernardo. Hola, hola.
Mucho gusto.
It's great to meet you.
Thank you.
¿Dónde vámonos?
Por aquí.
Nobody knows exactly how many Bribri live in the remote reserves of Talamanca. Estimates vary from 10,000 to 30,000. So what does it mean to you to be Bribri?
Para mí es muy importante el Bribri por ser único, no hay más. Para nosotros, Sibú nos dejó, Sibú es Dios. Entonces, Él hizo la tierra para nosotros. Y dejó el sitio acá, en Costa Rica, donde puedan vivir los Bribris.
But when Bernarda was growing up, her indigenous culture was starting to disappear. The Bribri were not thriving in modern Costa Rica.
En 1960 vino la primera escuela. Entonces, de ahí para acá, toda la gente de la comunidad ha aprendido español. Entonces, perdimos mucho de nuestro idioma. Nosotros aquí éramos tímidos. ¿Por qué? Porque nosotros fuimos muy maltratados de la gente no indígena, que no son indígenas. Entonces, fuimos muy maltratados, entonces la gente no quería hablar nada, no contar nada.
Bernarda convinced her village to relearn their language. But her masterstroke was adapting modern Costa Rica's ecotourism model to support the Bribri's return to a more traditional way of life.
Empecé a capacitar a la gente, a hablar con la gente, que no toda la gente es malo. Hay gente malo y hay gente buena también, y que puede apoyarnos, pero sin perder nuestra cultura, sin olvidar lo que tenemos, sino fortalecer nuestras cosas buenas que tenemos.
The Bribri value their privacy, so the number of visitors are kept low. Wow, listen to that. That's the sound of the forest. And those that do come need to be ready for an almost entirely off-grid experience. Lucky I've got a torch to find the small hut I'm staying in. The Bribri are virtually self-sufficient, producing their own food, housing materials and medicine from their environment. Plantain, oranges and cacao are all farmed in the traditional way.
Hola. I hear there's a roof that needs fixing.
Whiskey.
The people here work with and for each other.
Soy Gaia.
Mucho gusto, Gaia. Yo, Prudencio.
Oh, mucho gusto,
Bienvenido.
Prudencio. Soy Gaia.
Roy, para servirle.
Mucho gusto, Roy.
Estos dos dedos
Sí,
nada
sí,
más.
sí, like this. Okay.
Con esta mano haces el lazo para la derecha
Mhm.
y acuestas el mismo.
Okay.
¿Entendés?
If this roof leaks, don't blame me.
¿Subir? ¿Seguro, Gaia?
Puedo.
Okay. Bueno,
Watch me roof. Pass it up. Es más fácil aquí.
Try.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
¿Está bien venteado?
Sí.
Turns out I'm a writer, not a roofer.
La diferencia nuestra de los bribri es que nosotros nos regimos por clanes, en la línea matriarcal. Hace 26 años atrás, los que mandaban eran los hombres, no las mujeres. Entonces yo fui hablando con los hombres, hablando sobre la igualdad. Entonces, como bribris, que tenemos que estar unidos para ayudarnos unos a otros.
I'm going to leave this to the
Bro, acá.
experts. Qué linda, bebé. ¿Cómo te llama? ¿Cómo te llama ella? Poraima.
Es mi nieta.
Es mi nieta.
Sí.
Ah, sí.
El rol de la mujer en la comunidad es mucho. Cuando nos capacitamos para saber cuál es nuestra autoestima y cuál es nuestro valor, entonces aprendimos de que nosotros podemos liderar en cualquier parte como en diferentes comités.
Like a lot of people I've met in Costa Rica, the Bribri seem pretty laid back.
Nosotros somos muy felices aquí, muy tranquilos. ¿Por qué? Porque nosotros vivimos sin estrés. Nosotros no tenemos cuenta en el banco o préstamo en el banco. Tenemos mucha agua. La comida, como usted ve la naturaleza, hay muchas. Todo el mundo que viene acá disfruta la felicidad de nosotros y lo vive.
Muy bien.
Sí.
Nos vamos.
Sí, vámonos.
Ok.
You know what I really like about the Bribri is they've got this incredible sense of purpose. They know who they are. They're proud of their language and their culture and the beautiful place that they live in. Yet they're not afraid to let the modern world in. So, you know, they've got schools, they've got a doctor that comes and visits them, even though they still keep up their herbal medicine practice. And I think if you're going to have a culture and keep it alive in the modern world, that's the only sustainable way to do it. You know, as I've been travelling through Costa Rica, I've really been trying to understand the people here and what makes them the happiest people on earth. You know, and I found that everyone from Pachito to the people I met at the Iguita to the people I spent last night with, the Bribri, they all have something in common, this massively strong sense of community and a sense of purpose. You know, you don't see loneliness here. You don't see people living on their own. There's old and young and everybody is doing the same thing together, eating, working in the fields. And I think that might be the key.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna come over now. Yeah, I'll be there in 20 minutes. For the past few days, I've been waiting for news of a mass beach invasion of turtles called the arribada. And finally, it seems like they're on their way.
Hopefully they will arrive tonight, but who knows? At least I'll go to the beach and see what's going on out there.
Fishermen have spotted thousands of endangered olive ridleys gathering offshore, and they nearly always arrive in the dark. Clearly the word has got out.
Well, it's 5 o'clock and it's already pretty busy here.
I've already seen a crowd walk past me. These are the first tourists I've seen in Ostia now.
An arribada lasts for up to a week, and the turtles lay hundreds of thousands of eggs. It's a very special and unpredictable natural event. There are just 11 places in the world where this happens, and 2 of those are in Costa Rica. It's incredible to be here. Access to the beach is strictly controlled. There needs to be 100 turtles or more on the sand to officially declare an arribada. It's coordinator Jairo Quirez's job to count them.
Hola.
Hola.
Thanks for meeting me. Oh, so red light, yeah?
Yes.
So the turtles aren't disturbed. It's actually quite hard to see anything. Can we go down to the shore? I want to see where the turtles actually come in.
Jairo is in communication with spotters further up the beach. But dawn's first light reveals everything we need to know.
Oh my God, I can see them! I can see them! Let's run, let's run. I don't want to miss these turtles now that we finally got here. So, how many turtles? Has it started?
We have so many tracks here. So that means that the arribada just began.
It started! You're telling me this has finally started. We have an arribada. Oh.
Allá está la arribada. Los estamos invitando para que vayan allá los socios porque allá está la arribada.
Well, this is completely magical. There is a pink dawn breaking and the turtles are here. They've just come up the beach. Some of them are still up there laying their eggs, and then they're going to come back slowly, like this one is, into the ocean. It's finally happened. And the beach is just completely riddled with their tracks. How many must have gone up and down in the night, in the darkness?
Years ago, Ostia Beach had become a mess. Farmers let their pigs graze on the eggs, dogs ran wild, and poaching was rife. In 1983, the government appointed Marlena Vega and others from the village to protect and manage the collection of eggs during the arribada. Today, this is the only place in the world where local people are allowed to collect and eat some of the eggs. And I'm told it has a positive effect on the turtles. The collection cannot begin until there are 1,000 turtles on the beach.
I don't know how you know that there's a nest here. Vamos a ver. See?
During mass nesting events like this one, olive ridley turtles can have a 10% hatching rate. Here in Ostia, it's closer to 30%.
There's a little cluster of white eggs. They're like ping pong balls, but very wet. Now she's covering them. Seems like a lot of effort that she's putting in, keeping those eggs safe.
Each turtle will lay between 80 and 100 eggs.
She's really trying to get back to the sea now. She's had enough, she's tired out. No, unfortunately we can't help her. It's a nice thought, but we can't actually touch them. We have to let them do it themselves.
If they can avoid human hands, dogs and vultures, hatchlings will emerge in about 60 days. They will travel thousands of miles before the females return decades later to lay their own eggs. All that effort, and here I am digging them up.
I joined Greenpeace when I was 6, and this feels like the biggest betrayal of my 6-year-old self.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Esto es lo que hace que haya contaminación. Cuando las flotas, las arribadas, se vienen muy seguido, comienzan a excavar y excavan en el mismo, y por ahí ya vienen reventando algún huevo. Entonces ese es el problema de que ella está así. Por eso es que nosotros hacemos este trabajo para que esto no se dé. Y ya tenemos 30 años de estar haciendo esto y por eso es que nace mucha tortuga. Por eso hay mucha.
Biologists have found that reducing the overall number of eggs increases the amount that hatch successfully.
So what Marlena and her team of villagers are doing is actually cleaning the nests, essentially, so the turtles have a better chance of survival.
The villagers of Ostianal collect around 4.5 million eggs a year. That's around 6% of the total eggs laid. During every arribada, each person is allowed to keep up to 200 for their own consumption. Marlena manages the sale of the rest on behalf of the community. All profits are divided equally. Eggs are sold at a fixed, low price to deter poaching. Marlena tells me that this money puts people through college, pays for healthcare, and provides a turtle pension for retired members. The kids are exhausted after their 5 a.m. turtle alarm clock, so Nick's taking them home. But I'm so pleased they've seen this. I'm heading down the beach to Marlena's house, where she's promised to cook me breakfast.
Ah, hola.
Hola, bebé. Son fragile, ¿no?
Sí. Okay. Entonces, ahorita lo que vamos a hacer es abrir aquí.
So it's not like chicken eggs, is it? You don't crack it, you like literally pinch the top off.
Para que aprenda, para cuando vaya, vamos a echarle cebolla, chile dulce y culantro. Y también vamos a echarle un poquito de chile panameño.
Okay.
Sí.
¿Es picante?
Sí, pero está tierno para que no pique mucho.
Okay.
Pique poquito. Ya.
That looks actually really good. It's amazing how one's ethics about eating turtle egg go out of the window when you get hungry and there's an omelette ready for you to eat.
Y espero que le guste.
Muy rico.
Sí.
Very good. Halfway between a chicken egg and an oyster, I'd say.
Es con el fin primero de darle protección a la tortuga, extrayendo X cantidad de huevos para venderlos y ese dinero que es muy, muy interesante para los asociados, la población de Ostianal. También nosotros podemos construir EVAIS, Sencinae, electrificación. Decimos que estamos con la mano de la naturaleza porque no podemos estar separados, ni nosotros ni ellas. Entonces, lo que queremos es de que y también enseñarle a los niños al futuro de que ellos las cuiden y enseñándoles a cuidar eso tan bonito que nos da la naturaleza.
Sí.
Entonces son cosas que
Everyone in Ostianal benefits from the egg trade.
Over the last 30 years, the sale of eggs has generated more than $6 million for the villagers. The people here have found a way to improve their lives by exploiting a natural resource. But crucially, they're managing to protect their turtles too. That's the key. We cannot conserve the world's wildlife unless we also protect the needs of the humans that rely on it.
There are literally thousands of baby turtles on this beach.
This is a unique time in Earth's history. Scientists are calling it the Anthropocene, the age of humans. We dominate the planet so extensively that we are pushing our wild animals and plants off the face of the Earth. But we can still choose what sort of Anthropocene we make. We can still have a world with olive ridley turtles and many of the other 23,000 endangered species. Protecting our environment can sometimes sound overwhelming, but my incredible journeys around Costa Rica have shown me that the opposite is true. This remarkably sustainable country is the happiest in the world. And that's a lesson for us all. A tiny country linking two vast continents. A tropical corridor between two great oceans. A people defined by nature.
Oh, this is something amazing, guys. This is a glass frog.
This is Costa Rica.
Well, these are ridiculously cute. Hello.
I'm Gaia Vince. I explore and write about our changing planet and what we humans can do to protect our natural world.
This is why I'm not at home moaning about the state of the planet. You know, this gives me hope.
I'm heading for a country that's made saving the planet a matter of national pride.
I don't want to brag, but maybe I should.
A national grid fueled by rivers and volcanoes.
Go back to the river, my friend.
500,000 different species.
I mean, they're so ancient, they're like dinosaurs.
The happiest, most sustainable country in the world.
Gracias. This is the life.
I'm packing my bags for Costa Rica.
Pura vida.
Let's head.
Right, let's see if we can see some monkeys, darling, all right?
Keep your ears peeled and your eyes open.
It's the middle of the dry season on Costa Rica's west coast, and Nick, Kip, Juno and I are beginning to feel right at home.
Oh, that's very good, mate.
Oh my goodness, I think Daddy might be a little bit monkey, do you?
We're living in the small village of Nasara on the Pacific coast, and it really is a tropical paradise.
Look, can you see the monkeys? Where are the monkeys, do you know? Can you see them? Where? There, that's right. Oh, wow.
And look, there's two up here. Look at him eating the leaves.
How monkey?
There it is, that's right.
Oh, that's very good.
I'm saying hello.
Oh, you're saying hello. That's all right then.
I'll say bye-bye, monkeys. Off we go.
Costa Rica is the happiest, most sustainable nation in the world. 99% of its electricity comes from renewable energy alone.
This is an incredible success story for a developing country. Even more remarkably, they have done all this while protecting huge swathes of their natural world. This is a country that has chosen to put more than a quarter of its land under conservation. And to derive almost all of its electricity from its volcanoes, from its rivers, from the rain. They're already thinking decades ahead.
Mummy's off to do some more working.
Bye.
Right. Okay.
Just getting rid of all the Pacific dust. I think that is a cleaner car anyway. That's the Gulf of Nicoya next to us, so I've truly left Nick and the kids now. I'm heading east.
I'm travelling to the rivers and rainforests of the Cordillera Central, where the fate of two great rivers, the Rebentazon and the Pequare, illustrate how Costa Rica has struck a balance between its need for energy and the needs of its natural environment. My first stop is the Pequare River, one of the most pristine waterways in Costa Rica. While other rivers have been industrialised, the power of the Pequare is harnessed in a very different way. The Pequare River is a bucket list destination for whitewater rafting.
Okay, here we go. Harder, harder, left side, harder.
It's ecotourism with a huge adrenaline rush.
Here we go. This is a good one coming up. Harder, 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 harder. Okay, relax, relax. Thank you.
Oh, wet bum!
Excellent. That was an easy.
Was the easy one?
Yeah, it is an easy one.
Okay, so I was really congratulating myself on surviving that. So you've been doing this for how long?
I grew up on this river, you know, like I was doing rafting since I was maybe 7. And all my brothers and sisters, we all grew up on this place. I love working here because when I'm working, I get the chance to see my mom.
Albert's mum's house just happens to be located in one of the most remote, inaccessible parts of Costa Rica. There are no roads in or out. The only way to get there is a long trek through a very snaky jungle or down these rapids.
Rapids rodeo! Oh my God! Oh, a little frog!
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful! Coming for the ride? Like, kiss him, is he going to turn into a prince? Sorry, Nick. Oh, you're safe, Nick.
Finally, out of the mist and spray, we arrive. Turns out that Albert's mum's house might just be the most idyllic eco-lodge I've ever seen. It's breathtaking. 30 years ago, Albert's family had a farm here. Now, instead of growing crops, his mum manages the lodge.
It must have been so different here before the rafting.
Sí, era muy diferente. Nosotros trabajábamos al campo para sembrar todo, para sobrevivir nosotros aquí con toda la familia. La sorpresa mía o de toda mi familia fue cuando vimos una balsa por este río Pequare. Cuando vimos esa balsa, nosotros, ¿qué es? Ya después fue pasando el tiempo y empezó esta compañía.
Albert's parents sold their farm to the rafting company. His entire family now works for the rafting business.
Ahora yo soy muy feliz vivir aquí, ver que llegan mis hijos a trabajar aquí. Para nosotros es algo muy lindo.
What was Albert's family farm is now part of the largest private forestry reserve in the region. Visitors to the lodge have helped to plant over 28,000 new trees on the slopes of the gorge.
People pay to come down here because it's so beautiful, because it's so untouched. And in a lot of ways, it really is the heart of Costa Rica's conundrum, because this river that's gushing away really loudly just down below me could be used to make electricity.
And in fact, it very nearly was. "30 years ago, ICE, Costa Rica's power company, launched plans to build a hydro dam here to harness the river's huge energy potential. Protesters feared that damming the river would have flooded over 300 acres of this pristine valley.
Nosotros lo llamamos río Pacuares. Eso lo significa el río sagrado. Siempre los vivimos en las orillas. Esos son como los límites de nosotros, por nosotros y la gente de afuera. Y entonces por eso nosotros queremos proteger.
Salatiel Bequero is one of Costa Rica's indigenous Cabacá, whose territory lies along the banks of this river. Living deep within the forest, the Cabacá choose to have very little contact with the outside world.
No queremos represas porque la gente se puede pasar en nuestros pueblos, en nuestras comunidades cerca, y entonces se perjudica más. Entonces habría muchas carreteras o trochas y lo que no necesitamos, lo que no ha visto nunca. Y nosotros vamos a perdiendo también las costumbres y los todos. Lo que queremos es que respetes a nosotros, las gentes de afuera.
I want to find out more about how this river came to be protected. So I'm heading to the gorge, where a 25-year campaign to save the river first began.
So this is Dos Montañas. This is where they must have planned to build the dam. I can see it's already made for them pretty much.
Exactly.
Randall Solano, a rafting guide, took part in the very first protests against the dam.
I remember in 1991, more than 100 people paddled upstream and spent 2, 3, 4 days here. And everybody came down river and we did a dam of rafts and people protesting there, screaming, no dams, no dams, right on there.
No represa.
No represa, exacto. Some people hanging on hammocks on the walls.
No way, what, they were hanging?
Exactly.
Really?
Really, yeah.
Looks more terrifying than going down the rapids.
Yeah.
The protesters fought the dam for 2 decades, until in 2015, Costa Rica's President Solís signed a decree protecting the future of the Pequare.
It's a very special place.
It's a special place. Yeah, very special. Yeah.
In Costa Rica, they're trying to strike a balance between developing their economy and protecting their natural world. This time, they chose conservation. But they still need to get their electricity from somewhere. I'm in central Costa Rica, exploring how this small country has become a world leader in the production of sustainable energy, while at the same time protecting millions of acres of its natural world. Costa Rica generates 99% of its national grid from renewable resources. I'm in the foothills of Costa Rica's Cordillera Central, in the province of Limón. I've just left the pristine, untapped Pequare River, which is
really exciting series of rapids. And now I'm heading to the Reventazón River. They run very closely, just at the bottom of the Turrialba volcano. But this one has had a completely different ending. It's no longer running free. The Reventazón is the site of Costa Rica's latest hydro dam. The dam harnesses 118 million cubic meters of water, enough to provide electricity to a third of the population. Oh, wowzers. This is quite amazing. Water is released from the vast reservoir down through turbines to produce electricity.
All right, let's go and see the reservoir.
Eduardo Alvarado, the manager of the dam, has agreed to show me around.
I get really excited when I see big mega dams. I mean, I'm still on the fence a bit as to whether or not I agree with big mega dams, but there's something exhilarating, isn't there, to see like harnessing the power of a river.
Behind this wall, what used to be a fast-flowing river is now a man-made lake containing 300 million cubic meters of water. The lake acts like a giant battery, storing up water in the rainy season to provide a steady supply of energy all year round.
Isn't this the biggest hydro dam in Costa Rica?
This is actually the biggest power plant in Central America. It's quite important for us. And probably this year, if the weather conditions are right, we are going to maybe have 100% of our energy coming from renewable sources, hopefully. That's what Reventazón is for.
It's an extraordinary achievement, but power on this scale doesn't come without a cost.
Where did the original river flow? Where did it come
from? It actually flowed right in the middle of this.
Was this a natural canyon before?
Exactly, and we actually took advantage of the topographic conditions. It goes back almost 10 kilometers inland from here. It actually floated an area of 8 square kilometers. It's quite a big amount of water.
It's massive, yeah. and I mean, what it's flooded is essentially forest, isn't it?
Yes.
This forest provided a critical wildlife corridor between two of Costa Rica's highest mountain ranges.
We actually moved 40,000 animals to some protection places where we actually bought.
So, Eduardo, how on earth did you move 40,000 wild animals?
Well, it was a non-stop work during that time.
And are we talking like monkeys, or are we talking jaguars? What did you move?
We had a few wildcats, monkeys, almost everything.
I mean, it's great to provide an area for them to go in, but I mean, it doesn't replace what was here before, and it was so important.
Yes, but we have to take from somewhere to give, in the end, something bigger. We could feed 525,000 homes from this very power plant. So that's actually something that I think it's quite remarkable for Costa Rican people. The rest of Central America and Latin America are betting still in coal and fossil fuels. So, well, we have to balance it up.
It's a compromise.
It's a compromise.
Reventazón is the largest infrastructure project in Costa Rican history. Its scale is phenomenal. And by maximising the power potential of this river, Costa Rica has been able to protect its sister river, the pristine Pequare. Our global population is growing fast. There will be almost 10 billion of us by 2050. Providing sustainable power to that many people requires conscious, determined action. Costa Rica is already up and running. But this dynamic, developing country still has its problems.
It's the approach to San Jose. Mucho tráfico.
The capital of Costa Rica, San Jose, is located at the centre of the country's volcanic spine. It's
It's home to over a third of the population.
It's not even rush hour yet and the traffic's already building. They're just clogged. Costa Ricans now spend 15 days every year sitting in traffic. Even though Costa Rica's doing so much right, it's this that's letting them down. Transport, it's all run on petrol, diesel. It's fossil fuel based.
As a developing country, Costa Rica has its issues, but it's how it faces these challenges that's so inspiring. It has a pollution problem, so it taxes fossil fuels to invest in alternatives like wind and solar. It even harnesses the power of its volcanoes through geothermal. I want to know how Costa Rica manages such an ambitious agenda. So I'm off to meet President Luis Guillermo Solis.
Something I think is really extraordinary is that Costa Rica has publicly said it is going to be carbon neutral by 2021, while it's still developing its economy. How's it going to do that?
Some people feel that this is not going to be possible, and yet we're sticking to it because we feel very strongly that this is the way to go. We have been resisting suggestions that we should open up for petroleum exploration and mining. We have decided that this is not the way. We're not even exploring the country for natural gas. I mean, we have been almost 100% renewable in the production of electricity for 2 years. Yet we're very similar to other countries that have challenges, for example, in terms of our traffic, the amount of cars that we have. And that's a huge challenge, and I grant you that.
I mean, are there plans to try and get electric transportation?
Oh, yes, very much so. And the electric matrix is a significant part of the plan. But it's clear that we want the electricity production to remain clean. So we're looking at other sources, for example, geothermal, solar, or air, trying to balance up the act. It does entail taking risks and sometimes swimming against the current.
So companies want to drill for oil, they want to drill for gas here, but you've made a conscious decision as a country.
Oh, yes. No, they can't. I mean, at this point, they would require a decree that I'm not willing to sign in order to abolish a decree that I signed, extending the decree of a previous president saying that they wouldn't be able to. This is not going to happen. It's not going to happen in my administration, and it's probably unlikely to happen in the next administration, simply because it's not the way we want to go.
You know, when I think about energy, I think about our human relationship with fire. You know, that's where we first got our energy from, and it's shaped us. Burning stuff is what allowed us to cook our food, and that changed our physiology, it changed our jaws, it made our minds bigger. It created the people that we are. And then burning fossil fuels, well, that's the most efficient way of making energy. So I think it's extraordinary what Costa Rica's doing in transitioning to renewables. You know, to tap its rivers and its volcanoes and its wind and the sun. It's almost turning its back on our human history to do something better, deliberately.
Settling too much.
Oh, there they go. There they go. And they're going up their tunnel all the way, and that's where they live. That's their house. Yeah.
This is the old one. They've made all of this from chewing up wood. You can feel it.
Very clever they are, even though they're tiny weeny.
Those tiny
All
little...
live together in a big, big family, helping each other to build it.
There's another animal.
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know.
It looks, I don't know. Maybe it's a new species and we can call it Kippus minimus. What do you think? Shall we do that?
I'm back in Nasara, hanging out with Nick and the kids. They're turning into a couple of little adventurers.
Yeah. What can you see? Chickens.
We come all the way to Costa Rica and there's chickens. Chickens don't live in the forest, do they? No, people have brought them. What do the chickens do?
They lay eggs.
Exactly, and eggs are yummy, aren't they?
Yeah.
So wherever people go, they bring their chickens and they bring their horses because they're useful. From where we get our food to where we get our energy, we humans have always had an incredible ability to tap the potential of our environment. We exploit our natural resources. That's what humans do. That's what humans have always done. We adapt to our environments. Every species does. And here in Costa Rica, they're taking that ability to adapt to a whole new level. In their quest to create power without adding to global climate change, Costa Ricans are harnessing one of nature's most destructive forces. 12% of the country's national grid is run on volcano power. Geothermal power involves drilling wells to extract hot water, often from hundreds of feet below the surface in volcanic zones. The steam from this is then used to generate electricity. There are 9 potential geothermal sites in Costa Rica. Currently, they're generating power from just 2 of them. Costa Ricans want to expand their geothermal production. But just 90 minutes east of the capital, Costa Rica's most disruptive volcano is demonstrating just how ambitious harnessing energy in this way can be. 6:30 in the morning. I'm on the slopes of the most active volcano in Costa Rica. And there's signs of recent activity all over the place. Access to Mount Turrialba is strictly controlled, and the local village of Central has been evacuated. Oh my goodness.
Several centimeters of ash.
It feels apocalyptic.
Be careful, it might collapse.
Looks quite close to it. I've been invited to join volcanologist Cyril Muller, who is on his way to his research base on the slopes of the volcano. Oh wow! I can see the whole volcano now. Oh my goodness. It's still smoking. These bursts of ash keep coming.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite impressive that when you have like rock or like ash falling.
I can taste the acidity in my mouth. That's the sulfur, is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's makes a lot of gas, but sulfur is dominating in this. And you can also smell it, right?
And there's grittiness in my teeth. Oh wow, look at that.
Oh yeah. Look at the gradient here. On the right is green, and on the left is completely gray and dead. This is the effect of this acidity.
Oh wow. Volcano fumes and rough terrain make for tough going. Oh my God.
Yeah, it used to be a road here, and now we're walking on a lava flow. This is lava from previous eruptions.
Turrialba's latest eruptive cycle started last September. Its largest eruptions are producing columns of ash up to 2.5 miles above the volcano. Cyril is part of a team of volcanologists based at the National University of Costa Rica who monitor active volcanoes and help predict when the next eruption might happen.
We use an antenna here, and this antenna is actually receiving the satellite signal. This will follow the movement of the ground.
So the ground here actually moves and you can record it?
Yeah, exactly. When the magma intrudes beneath the volcano, it's just swollen like that. And we can pick that with the GPS.
Okay.
So this site last year moved 2 centimeters toward this direction and 2 meters up. So
That's
it's
a
typical.
massive movement.
Yeah, yeah,
Massive.
you can imagine the power to just lift everything, all the mountain.
That's incredible.
And
Basically, it's the earth belching, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
The underground heat required for geothermal energy gets closer to the Earth's surface the nearer you get to a volcano. But the closer you get to the crater, the more unstable the environment becomes. And just a few hundred yards from Cyril's base, the raw, destructive power of an active volcano is laid bare.
We are like in the heart of the most dangerous active volcano of Costa Rica. Nobody is allowed to come here. It could explode anytime.
It's extraordinary. I mean, all I can see is death everywhere I look. I mean,
a really hostile environment. These trees are dead. I mean, like before it was all green. So the change is dramatic.
I mean, it just tells me how powerful our planet is, because we're not often confronted really with the power of the earth.
Suddenly the wind changes direction. We're now right in the path of the ash cloud.
It's literally raining ash in my eyes. They're really stinging.
So I suggest to move.
Yeah.
To move out of this zone.
As I'm leaving, I can't help feeling just a little bit proud. We humans have managed to harness the power of these natural bombs and turn them into the batteries that power our lives. Costa Rica's expertise is helping to develop new geothermal projects all over the world. These new power plants could supply more than 3% of the planet's electricity and 4% of the world's heat by 2050. My journey home takes me past the Guanacaste mountain range, a string of volcanoes in the north of Costa Rica, where the country's main geothermal plants are based.
What an incredible view. It's like a child's drawing.
I'm still covered in ash from Turrialba, but I know a fantastically volcanic way to get rid of it. I just need to find the spot.
Hola, buenas. ¿Está frío acá?
Es normal.
Normal. Ah, sí.
Fresco.
Fresco. ¿Hay un río caliente cerca de aquí?
Sí, hay un río que es de agua termal, 10 kilómetros al este, y hay un descenso para llegar al río y es gratis.
Ah, muy bien.
Es agua
Me
termal,
gustó.
relajante.
Estoy buscando eso.
Te lo recomiendo.
Sí,
Claro,
muchas gracias.
pura vida.
Pura vida a ti.
I met a guy there who told me that there is a river which comes directly from the volcano and is hot. You can get into the river and swim in it. Is this the bridge? I think it might be.
Just seen some people coming out of here, so I'm gonna explore. Nice!
I have my first Costa Rican bath.
Whoa! Lovely and warm! Lovely! This is the life! Pura vida! I'm gonna have trouble getting out of here. Oh my god, this is so strong! Girls up there that are managing to do this a lot more elegantly than me, I have to say. My pants are falling off.
After emerging from a string of underwater volcanoes, 3 million years ago, Costa Rica became part of a bridge connecting North and South America. This natural barrier rerouted the ocean current and transformed our planet, cooling the Arctic and creating the savannas of Africa, leading to the evolution of the human race. For a small country, Costa Rica has always packed quite a powerful punch.
Come on, we're going to pack up some stuff, darling. We're going on our holiday, aren't we?
I'm going to come with you too.
Yes, you are.
I've been exploring Costa Rica's pioneering use of sustainable energy. And tomorrow, I'm going to join one of the most unusual projects I've ever heard of. But first, it's time for some family time.
I cannot wait.
I know, it's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
We've come to Playa Hermosa, just up the coast from our house in Nosara. It's one of the best dive spots in this part of the country.
I am absolutely looking forward to this. It's going to be completely amazing.
The country has almost 1,000 miles of coastline, and over half of that is protected. Dive tourism is big business here, and Costa Rica sees this part of the country as the perfect place to develop this strand of ecotourism. Humans couldn't exist without the oceans. They provide half our oxygen and absorb more than 1/4 of our carbon emissions. But right now, they're really struggling. All our carbon is making the oceans warmer and more acidic, and it's getting harder for marine life like coral to survive. In Costa Rica, they're feeling the effects as much as anywhere. But it's the way that Costa Ricans are responding that's unique. Protecting the planet is a matter of national pride here. It feels like everyone gets involved. Just around the corner from where we're staying, a team from ICE, Costa Rica's power company, are preparing for one of the most unlikely recycling projects I've ever heard of.
Oh, wow.
Estos son los aisladores, permítame.
So many of them.
Estos son parte de los que hemos retirado de la red. Entonces, la porcelana
Sí.
tiene la posibilidad de ser reciclada. Pero esta pieza metálica nos limita esa opción.
Oh, I see.
When engineer Walter Arias was upgrading Costa Rica's electricity grid, he was left with thousands of porcelain insulators to dispose of. When he saw how the damp climate of Costa Rica's forested areas had affected them, he had an idea.
El esmalte, ellos lo van perdiendo. Y de alguna forma se generan un poco más porosos. Encontramos algunos que tenían adherencia de musgo. Y ahí es donde nace el proyecto.
Walter heard about a local project trying to build artificial reefs for marine life. Realising that his insulators were already supporting plant life above ground, he saw no reason why they couldn't do the same underwater. So today, we're using pieces of a defunct national grid to build a new home for fish.
You're hoping that the same thing happens in the sea. So instead of moss, it will be some sort of algae, perhaps even coral, and that the fish will establish themselves on it.
Sí, básicamente está asociado a formar una estructura de 6 puntas que nos permita poder jugar como un Lego.
Yeah, I'll hold it still.
Eso significa que nos va a permitir poner uno, otro y otro.
Are you going to come diving down to put them in place?
No, yo sobre el bote no sé bucear.
No?
No.
You can't dive? You came up with this master plan and you can't even dive?
Solo me lo he imaginado, lo que quiero tener.
You must learn so that you can see your underwater city when it's made.
Sí, pero es mi nuevo proyecto. Sí.
Muy pesado.
With our Lego pieces assembled, the hard work really begins.
Okay, let's go. We're going to load these stars up, then we're going to find the right place, and we're going to lower them all down, then we're going to get kitted up, dive in and construct some sort of architecture. We can try and recreate what a reef does naturally with an experiment. It's brilliant. Hola, con mucho gusto. Más rápido, sí, sí.
And this reef won't just benefit the fish. Walter hopes it will create a new, low-impact dive attraction for tourists, which would ease pressure on the more vulnerable marine sites nearby.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
False knot.
False knot,
Yeah.
okay. You have to tie it tight enough but easy enough to untie it from up here. Let's see. And then
Started.
this one through here.
Yep.
And then pull with this
That's
one.
it.
Listo.
Listo.
The dream's coming together, yeah?
Una, dos, tres.
Oh my goodness.
Up, up, up. Ready? Suelta, suelta, suelta. Voy suavecito, voy suavecito. Voy suavecito porque él lo tiene en la mano.
How far down is it? 8 metres?
More or less.
More or less.
Yeah.
Walter's team have conducted tests to make sure the insulators won't contaminate the ocean as they degrade.
Have we gone all the way down yet? Is it on the bottom?
Yep.
Okay, so now we have to release the rope. Oh, well done. Brilliant. Okay.
Listo.
Okay.
Oye, sí. Okay. Una, dos, tres.
Feels a bit odd putting these insulators that are clearly from a power station to the bottom of the sea. It feels almost like we're trashing the ocean, but of course we're doing the opposite. We're trying to generate new growth. This is genius. This is not sitting at home crying over there being no coral reefs. This is trying to come up with an alternative. You know, maybe coral will grow on it, maybe it won't, but it's going to be a great place for fish to hang out, and that's the start. Hey, Walter. Yeah, we already done 4. Muy bien.
With the pieces all lowered in, it's time to start building.
Okay, I'm going to go down and see those structures myself. I'm going to build a city for fish.
Okay.
Walter's team only began work on this structure a few weeks ago, and they have a lot more blocks to add before it's finished. But I see that plants are already starting to grow, and plenty of fish are coming to check out their new home.
Oh, that was amazing. I mean, it's simple. It's just some blocks on each other, but it's amazing how effective just a simple structure can be. It's not a coral reef, but it's pretty good.
I can't wait to tell Walter how well his idea is working.
Well, that was amazing for me to actually see it all happening. And let me tell you, there are fish already living in your artificial construct.
Yo estoy más feliz que usted, creo, porque 97% de nuestros arrecifes tienen un grado de afectación y tendríamos la oportunidad de colaborar dándole vida con un desecho que para nosotros ya no tenía ninguna solución. Aislamiento eléctrico hay en todo el mundo y la posibilidad de utilizarlo en otras partes y en otras latitudes será posible. La expectativa es que haya un ecosistema que ayuda a la comunidad, que ayuda al país y con toda la esperanza que llegue a ayudar al mundo.
People across the world are trying all sorts of things to breathe new life into our threatened oceans. But this is the first time I've heard of a power company using bits of its old national grid. It's experimental stuff, but that's what we humans are good at. And here, in Playa Hermosa, the signs are good. If it works, Walter's team predicts that this reef could advance the development of the ecosystem here by more than 100 years.
I'll tell you what I like about Walter. He had a crazy idea to build an underwater reef out of old porcelain insulators. You know, he didn't see, like so many of us, just see these huge global problems and think, I can't do anything. He just had the idea, he went out and did something, and that's somewhere for fish to go, it's somewhere for marine life to grow, and it's something for this community, you know, the whole tourism industry here depends on people having something to look for in the ocean. And, you know, if it works here, why can't we try it elsewhere?
As our planet gets warmer, we're going to have to find more ways to support our vulnerable oceans. And that's what I love about Costa Rica. It's full of people determined to find answers to the difficult questions we face. But some questions will always be tricky to answer.
Mummy, how did you make me in your tummy?
That's a loaded question.
How did I make you? You grew there from a special egg, darling, in Mummy's tummy.
Like turtles?
Just like turtles, that's right, sweetheart.
Well, Mummy didn't bury you in a beach and leave you for a month.
A tiny country linking two vast continents. A tropical corridor between two great oceans. A people defined by nature.
Oh, this is something amazing, guys. This is a glass frog.
This is Costa Rica.
Well, these are ridiculously cute. Hello.
I'm Gaia Vince. I explore and write about our changing planet and what we humans can do to protect our natural world.
This is why I'm not at home moaning about the state of the planet. You know, this gives me hope.
Now, I'm headed for a country that's made saving the planet a matter of national pride.
I don't want to brag, but maybe I should.
A country powered by its rivers and volcanoes.
Go back to the river, my friend.
Home to 500,000 different species.
I mean, they're so ancient, they're like dinosaurs.
The happiest, most sustainable country in the world.
Gracias. This is the life.
I'm packing my bags for Costa Rica.
Pura vida. Where are we going?
To Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Do you know, gonna help with the elephants?
It's really exciting because we're packing up the house, we're going to Costa Rica. It's going to be a really big adventure for them. They're preschool, so this is the time to do it. I think it's going to be great. I was an editor at the science journal Nature. The evidence is overwhelming that we're changing the planet. Costa Rica is trying to sort this out, and they're doing it really successfully, so I want to explore that. And after a 12-hour flight and a 5-hour cross-country drive.
Oh, Daddy's going swimming with the car. Look at that.
We're finally here. 5,000 miles from our London home to the Nicoya Peninsula on Costa Rica's Pacific coast. And it's absolutely gorgeous.
Look up, Kip. There, look. Kip, look. Look at all the birds. Wow.
We've rented a house in the jungle, It's going to be our home for the next few months.
Yeah, look, can you see its tail? He's a beautiful green, isn't he?
I can see his leg and foot.
Yeah. Look at the pretty flower.
I really want to go there and actually see what it's like to live in a country where the national consensus, where the people have decided that nature is worth something. They're really going to value nature.
See what else we can see.
Yeah, they're going to chew up wood and they make it into...
I'm going to bring the kids on some of my field trips, but sometimes they're going to need to stay at home, and that's going to be tough on Nick. Before the little sproglets, it was just me and Nick. He was a camera guy when I was the one that found the stories. And we were a bit of a team, so it's different this time.
Bum. Oh, you're a rotter. Oh. Back in London, I was away more and Gaia works from home more. So it's flipped everything on its head, and that's fair enough. I think I can't really complain.
I'm gonna go, sweetheart.
Bye.
Bye, darling. Thank you, sweetie. I'll see you soon, okay?
Oh, I'm gonna get some. I'm staying.
Bye-bye, baby boy.
Okay, drive safely.
I write about people and our relationship with the natural world, and there couldn't be a more interesting time. We're changing our planet so fast. The only way for me to write about it is to get out into the field and see what's going on for myself. You know, you do all your research, you find experts to talk to about it. It's only when you get out there, you have some really cool conversation with a guy in a bar or, I don't know, a woman working on her fields, and you realise that it's not how you thought. I've come to Costa Rica because no other country is doing more to protect its natural world. Take food production. It's 7.5 billion humans living on the planet. We need to farm more intensively. I'm heading to a fish farm in the north of the Guanacaste province. It produces 20,000 tons of tilapia fish for the US market every year. So when the local wildlife starts chomping into the profits, you'd think it would be curtains for the crocodiles. But that's not how it works in Costa Rica.
Viene a trabajar con nosotros hoy.
Hola, hola.
¿Todo bien?
Liba Quiros is the head crocodile trapper at the 600-acre Aqua Corporation fish farm.
Listo. Nos vamos acá.
Okay.
Ahora sí ya vamos en busca de los cocodrilos.
Okay.
Ahora sí.
Let's go.
¿Está lista?
I'm not sure.
Bueno, ¿lista o no? Ya vamos por allá.
Soy listo, soy listo.
In the 1970s, with only a few hundred wild crocodiles left in Costa Rica, they were made a protected species. They're still protected today. But in recent years, the growing number of national parks and reserves has seen their numbers boom. Great news for crocs, less so for a multi-million-dollar fish farm. Costa Ricans want big business, but they want their wildlife too. That's where Liba and his team come in.
Okay.
Vamos.
Let's go get some crocodiles.
Vamos a meter la malla en el estanque, en esta línea, y vamos a venir hacia acá para traer el cocodrilo a la parte más baja del estanque. Entonces, nos alistamos para entrar con ellos.
Sí, mi pantalones. These are to stop the tilapia biting.
Para que no la vaya a punzar, correcto, sí.
Yeah. I guess they're not very effective against crocodile bites, though.
No, no le va a servir.
It takes 8 well-trained trappers to catch a crocodile. They shout and slap the water to corner the crocs.
Si sientes algo en las piernas, es la tilapia que está en el agua. ¿Ok? No tengas miedo, te puede golpear las piernas.
Okay, I'm not going to
Vamos a
freak out.
caminar arrastrando los pies, arrastrando, no los levantes. ¿De acuerdo?
Okay, I'm
Para
scraping
no
my
bajar el cocodrilo. Correcto, correcto.
Okay.
¿Ok? Si sientes el cocodrilo en tus piernas, te quedas quedita y me levantas las manos. ¿De acuerdo? Para saber que él está ahí.
Okay.
Y trabajar con el equipo y traer la malla a tu lugar. ¿De acuerdo?
Got it.
Perfecto.
Hey, if I raise my arms, you better be quickly over to
Correcto.
me.
Y vamos a trabajar con ellos.
I found one.
Trabajémoslo normal ahora sí ya. Y vamos a avanzar con ellos.
We're going to encircle this crocodile now with this frankly very flimsy looking net.
Ya bajado el plomo usted.
Something
Ya
that's
levantado.
moved over there.
Eso
Wow,
es,
the
muy bien.
tilapia are literally jumping out of the water
Muy
now.
bien, muy bien, muy bien.
They're clearly trying to escape something
Ahí.
quite big. Oh my god, I just saw something.
Ahí lo tiene, ahí está, véalo ahí. Ahí está el cocodrilo.
See? See?
Para acá. Venga, dale.
This is intense.
Acá.
How is this? It's about 3.5 meters, I'd say, long. This is not a small crocodile.
Más para atrás, más para atrás. Ahí, venga. Ahí, para acá, porque la cabeza va para acá. Para la vuelta.
He's telling me to keep away. He's telling me to keep away from his mouth.
Y arriba de una vez, chicos, para. Vamos. 3. Ok, vamos arriba.
Dale.
Vámonos, vámonos. Adentro, ok. Muy bien. Vamos a soltar la malla, ¿ok?
The crocodile's got snagged in the net and they need to get the net off so they can put him in the truck
Ya,
cleanly.
aquí están. Más para atrás. Acá. Listo. 1, 2, 3. Ok. Fuerte. Aquí. Lo sostienes ahí. Es tuyo. Duro. Sosténgalo ahí. Ok. Muy bien.
It's not easy and it's not all that delicate, but everyone is working fast to keep the croc as calm as possible.
Okay, sorry, crocodile. My job is to tape up his eyes, which should make him feel more comfortable. And once he's feeling more comfortable, I'm definitely going to feel more comfortable.
Okay, ready.
See? Listo? Okay. The adrenaline is still going from when we were in the water, and I can see all his teeth. They are sharp.
Vamos a medirlo. ¿De acuerdo?
52 centimeters.
52, cabeza. Me avisa cuando llegue ahí. Falta, ¿verdad? Okay.
Are you keeping a record?
Todos los cocodrilos están en una lista, en una base de datos, para conocerlos, para estudiarlos también. Vamos a ver si es macho o hembra, ¿ok?
Sí, sí.
This is acá.
Ah, sí.
Ok. Vas a meter el dedo, ¿de acuerdo? Ok.
So I have to plunge my finger inside the crocodile, apologies crocodile, and see what I can feel.
Ok, ¿sientes?
Okay,
¿Duro?
yeah, see,
Okay.
so there's
The
something
penis.
hard. I can feel its penis. Okay, that really is a first for me.
1, 2, 3.
Well, this one didn't make it. They're trying to revive it. Basically, in trying to capture it, they killed it.
But Liba doesn't give in and starts giving the croc CPR.
Ok, vamos, saquémoslo ya por encima.
See? Está vivo?
Sí, sí está vivo, sí, sí.
Oh, it's alive. It's alive. And you know, that's what gives me hope. That even though they're dangerous and even though they have absolutely no use to us and they actually threaten our food supply, we are still willing to put our lives in danger to save a species like this. You know, this gives me hope.
Listo, vámonos.
The team's enthusiasm is amazing, especially as about half the crocs they remove manage to find their way back here.
Ha aumentado mucho la cantidad. Y a nivel de río, hay contabilizados por nuestros especialistas alrededor de 3.800 cocodrilos que se pudieron ver en ríos para contarlos.
Go back to the river, my friend. It's just magnificent. There he goes.
Dale.
Well, these guys in a fish farm, middle of nowhere in Costa Rica, have just saved a killing machine. They could just have taken it out, no one would have known. But they didn't, they did it properly. Nothing but respect for these guys. There he goes.
Today, more than 23,000 plants and animals are threatened with extinction. We're losing more species than at any stage since the dinosaurs. But the Costa Ricans have brought their crocodiles back from the brink in less than 50 years. If we humans can manage to protect a gnarly, aggressive species like that, just imagine what else we could save. I'm heading east now, towards the mountains and forests of Costa Rica's Punta Arenas province. I want to explore how this small Central American country has managed to protect more than a quarter of its landmass. Happily, my mission has taken me to the poshest treehouse I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, this is nice. Oh, I could get used to this.
By the way, we've not got unlucky with the weather. The people that stay here pay big bucks for these clouds. This is one of the world's rarest woodlands, the Monteverde cloud forest.
This is an amazing, amazing place, and I'm right in the heart of it. Oh, and I can still see the trees through the shower.
High-end ecotourism like this has become big business in Costa Rica. And at around $400 a night, not everyone can afford a bed in the clouds.
It's not the week in the sun, it's not going to a beach to have cocktails and getting as many tourists as you possibly can into the area. They're being a bit canny about it.
Not everywhere is as upmarket as this, but Costa Rica is by no means cheap.
And they're banking on their wildlife, their nature being worth the extra money.
Costa Ricans have realised that the best way of protecting their natural world is to keep the number of visitors low and the prices high. But enough economics, it's time to get my boots dirty. At 4,500 feet above sea level, Monteverde straddles Costa Rica's continental divide between the Pacific weather zone in the west and the Caribbean zone in the east. The cloud forest exists at the highest altitudes. Below that, it's the tropical rainforest. But the most amazing thing about this woodland is that just 50 years ago, most of it didn't exist at all. Back then, Costa Rica was one of the most deforested nations on Earth. And Monteverde, like most of the country's forestry, was being cleared to rear cattle.
Ricardo, am I right in thinking that your father was one of these homesteaders that was ruining or practically ruining this beautiful forest?
My father, at that point in the 60s, had become a home light chainsaw dealer. He was actually selling chainsaws around the country.
Ornithologist Ricardo Guindon was born in Monteverde. In the 1970s, his dad, inspired by the discovery of rare species in what was left of the forest, packed in his chainsaw business and dedicated the rest of his life to replanting the woodland he'd helped to destroy.
This is a path that he designed, and it's been dedicated to him when he retired.
In just 50 years, the man-made woodland has doubled the size of total forest in Monteverde. This and similar projects across Costa Rica have made it the only country in the tropical world to reverse deforestation. But today, Monteverde's precious cloud forest faces a global threat. Rising temperatures are reducing the levels of low-lying cloud, threatening indigenous birds, amphibians, and plant life.
We're at the top of this mountain range. So just like an island in the ocean, if the water rises, there's nowhere for those creatures to go. They die. And that because of climate change.
Beautiful. It's a little bit tricky to walk off-road like this.
Yeah.
There's so many trees. But Costa Rica, being Costa Rica, is not taking the threat lying down. As well as a tourist attraction, this forest acts as a platform for scientific research in the battle against climate change.
So we have a couple trees up that way that we've studied, but today we're actually going to go to a really big, beautiful tree just that way, actually.
Oh yeah, let's go. Researcher Jessica Murray is studying the effects of global warming on one of the cloud forest's most important types of plant. Epiphytes, like bromeliads, lichens and feathery mosses, grow on the branches of the forest's highest trees. These plants suck moisture from the air and trap rain on their leaves, slowing down the flow of water from cloud to forest floor. The process is called canopy drip.
What a tree! So high!
This one's about 25 meters.
Do you hang here often?
I do.
Lucky.
The view is so much nicer.
Jessica's team has set up a living laboratory in the highest branches of this fig tree that helps them understand how climate change is affecting the rare epiphytes.
We come up to this amazing, pristine canopy up here, and I can see all your little scientist markers up. Oh wow. It's an entire living world up here. There's actually soil and moss, soft lichen, and then these perfect leaves.
All this life needs a constant supply of moisture. The epiphytes act like sponges, sucking the water out of the air and slowing down the enormous amounts of rain hitting the ground.
Especially on a super rainy day, if the water just goes straight down the trunk, it's going to reach the ground faster and increase the amount of surface runoff, which means the water, instead of being absorbed in the ground, is actually moving away.
In Monteverde, climate change is causing more rain to fall on fewer days. But it's also causing a greater number of consecutive dry days. Just when the cloud forest needs its epiphytes most, the delicate plants are dying of thirst.
So we understand that climate change is happening, but we don't know which species are more well adapted to a drier environment. Which species are we going to lose? And so we want to understand what will happen to this community. Maybe some of these plants will actually be able to fare for another 100 years, or maybe we're going to lose them all in 25.
It's going to be different, whatever. Yeah.
Jessica and her team believe that understanding which epiphytes are best suited to surviving climate change will allow us to extend the life of this extraordinary cloud forest.
Okay, you got it all?
I think so.
Brilliant.
All right.
Job well done.
Job well done.
How the hell am I supposed to get back over there? Do I walk forward like that? Really?
Do you want to move your foot to the right? Do you see
Not
where
especially. Sorry to be a baby about
No, it's okay.
this.
So
but I feel quite
Can you move forward now?
vulnerable.
I loosen it a little.
One more, and then you can give me your hand.
I'm actually quite scared. I haven't been scared for a long time like this, of actually dying.
You will not die.
No? Are you sure?
Gaia?
Can you let go of my waist? I have the fear. I have the fear, I seriously. I trust the ropes. I don't trust my own ineptitude.
Okay. Yeah.
I may look like a monkey, but it turns out I'm not a monkey. Oh. I survived. Bye-bye, beautiful tree.
Hello, Mummy.
Hello, baby. How are you? What have you been doing?
We've been going swimming.
Yeah? Oh, I've been up a tree today. I went all the way to the top of a tree. For me, to go up that tree was terrifying, and it was a bit of a wake-up. I don't think I would have had that a few years ago. I think that's a recent thing. I would have felt scared, but I would have done it. I would have breezed through. Since I've become a mother, I've been more scared of things. Oh, love you, baby. I'll see you soon, okay? The reforestation of Costa Rica is a phenomenal achievement. Over half of the country is now covered in trees. Its woodlands help store the world's carbon, combating global climate change. New reforestation projects are at the heart of Costa Rica's promise to be the world's first carbon-neutral country by 2021.
Gracias. Pura vida.
I really want to understand how and why Costa Ricans have become so connected to their natural world. So I'm heading for the capital for a sit-down with the president. I'm in the center of Costa Rica, in the capital, San Jose.
Hola, señor. Al Museo de Costa Rica, por favor.
I'm on my way to meet El Presidente of Costa Rica, which is pretty exciting. I mean, it's a pretty cool country. It's really, really cool, actually. They're leading in environmental sustainability and in social practices, and I want to find out why.
Gracias.
Luis Guillermo Solís was elected president in 2014. He's meeting me at a former military barracks where just under 70 years ago, one decision set Costa Rica on the pioneering path it still follows today.
Back in 1948, the last civil war of Costa Rica was fought. And the victorious general in that war, who would become a president of Costa Rica, Mr. José Figueres, decided to abolish the armed forces as a permanent institution in the country.
Yeah, it's incredibly brave, actually, for such a small country to just abolish its military.
Yes, it is, and if you ask around, you will find that Costa Ricans are very comfortable with the idea that Costa Rican mothers can be assured when they give birth that their child will never be a soldier. This is different from other countries, and we're very fortunate. And if you couple that with other things, such as social justice, democracy, public education, and now also the environment, then you have a concept, you have a vision, you have a wholesome notion of where you want to go and what kind of country you want to have.
People do really talk about the idea of community, and they do talk about the idea of the natural world.
Yes, and we're very serious about it. I mean, this is not a poise to get more tourists. It's something that this country has to treasure and to show to the world. I don't want to brag, but maybe I should.
Brag away.
Because it's something that distinguishes us very, very much. And doing this for us is not easy. It has not been cheap, and it has required a tremendous effort, financial and political, to keep it. But you have to remember that 26% of our national territory is under conservation status, and that's almost unheard of for a country this size.
Is that sustainable though, with the cities growing, with this enormous number of tourists? Can you still protect that much?
It has been sustainable so far, but we have to be careful. I think we can balance up the act, but it requires a lot of wisdom.
According to President Solis, almost 3 million tourists visited Costa Rica last year. In a country of almost 5 million people, that's quite a squeeze. I'm leaving San Jose now, swapping the mountainous interior for the golden beaches of Costa Rica's east coast.
Ah, the Caribbean, finally! Beautiful.
Like so many of the tourists that come to Costa Rica's Caribbean coast, I'm on the trail of one of the country's most iconic animals.
Look, careful of sloth sign.
I've got to admit, I do get a bit overexcited when it comes to sloths. I'm a big fan.
Sloths in town.
I'm in the southern Caribbean town of Puerto Viejo. People come here for the beach, the surf, and the wildlife. But like the president said, it's not always easy to get the balance right. 5 years ago, it was a small fishing village. Now it's a full-on resort. It's always been a great place to spot sloths, but the rapid expansion of Puerto Viejo is not treating them well. Primatologist Encar Garcia established this animal sanctuary with her late husband in 2008. But as Puerto Viejo has become busier, so too has their animal hospital.
Hey, hi, soy Gaia.
I'm Fernando, nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you, con mucho gusto.
And sloths are their most regular patients.
We get about 120, 130 sloths per year, normally. At least 40 of them must be from electrocutions.
The expansion of Puerto Viejo means more building, more roads, and more electricity. And in Costa Rica, power lines are not always insulated.
It's a pitiful sound, it really is.
Yeah.
So this is an electrocution.
Yeah. This time, 3 legs get electrocuted.
3 legs, yeah. And the baby, how old is the baby?
Maybe a couple of months.
All right, little one. Be as quick as we can.
Here. Yeah. Yeah, it's upsetting.
It's upsetting to see a mother with a baby in this condition. It's really,
Yeah.
really awful.
Fortunately, when it's really upsetting is when we see that the animal is going down. This one, even if it's a time of stress, it's just once a day and for a few days. And after that will be fine.
And I'm really glad that she's getting better. We make the problems, but we can also fix them.
She will get better.
Yeah.
It's rare for the mother sloth to survive the electric shock. Often it's just the baby that survives.
Well, these are ridiculously cute. Hello.
They decide to be together. It's like a big sloth ball.
So they're all orphans?
All orphans. Well, let's feed them because I think they're hungry.
Oh yeah, let's feed them. Where are you going, little one? You left the basket? Are you going to join him? Oh. They are ridiculously cute. What is that?
That's goat milk with carrot and cereal.
Okay. They just look ecstatic, don't they, when they're suckling?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Since opening, Encar and her team have saved over 1,800 animals. Even more impressively, they've returned 40% of them to their natural habitat.
That's my paradise.
Beautiful. How stunning is this? Finally in a primary rainforest.
So what sort of tree are we looking for to release this sloth?
We are gonna looking for an almond tree.
This one? This is an almond tree?
This one.
Oh, okay.
We are gonna release here because at the same tree, the sloth can find different plants.
Like a tree buffet.
Exactly.
You're in for a treat, sloth.
Yeah.
Okay. Off you go. Take your time, sloth. Oh, look at that. Incredible. Amazing, amazing. Beautiful.
Releasing a sloth, even if I did it a lot of times before. Each time is a new emotion, new feelings. Huh?
Be a bit more careful now, mate. Don't want to see you back in the rescue centre.
Here is going to be safe.
So is he going to stay up the tree for a long time?
It's going to be there for a long time because it's food enough, full of plants.
Yeah, unless he needs to poo.
Yeah, that's the problem. When they need to poo, they calm down all the way back. Yeah. Really
But they don't have to do it very often, do they?
No, they poo more or less each 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knows exactly why they need to calm down for poo. Monkeys, they just poo on the branch, on the tree. But the sloths, no, they are very rare for all.
Crazy animal. Oh, well, thank you so much. That was an absolutely
Thank you. Well done.
Beautiful experience.
Now nature will decide.
Oh, what have you got in here? Oh, I know. Okay, I got it. Come on, we've got to be quick. Oh, horrendous rainstorm last night. Completely messed up our plans. We're supposed to be staying a bit longer in the sunny Caribbean and going upriver on a boat trip, but the rivers are all swollen, so that's not going to work. And there's fallen trees blocking the roads, and in fact one of the trees has fallen on our producer Holly's house, which is why we are trying to get her out of here as soon as we can. Plan B. I'm driving south now on the Pan-American highway that links North and South America. I've seen the effect of the tourist boom on the Caribbean. Now I'm headed for the most remote, pristine part of Costa Rica, the Osa Peninsula. It's Kip's 4th birthday tomorrow, and they're all flying down to meet me. It's been 10 days since I've seen them, and I've struggled from time to time. But I'm really feeling like I'm back in the swing of things. Hello, my beautiful, beautiful boy. Mwah.
Thank you. Gracias.
What's that?
Hey.
Oh, sweet boy. Give him a kiss.
Okay. Nice to see you.
Lovely to see you.
It's a 1-hour speedboat trip past endless mangroves that line the Sierpe River to our remote eco-lodge on the edge of Drake Bay.
Wow.
Oh, so high up.
Look at that.
Isn't it beautiful? Look at that ocean. Seriously though, this is not just completely
really
beautiful.
The Osa Peninsula is one of the most biologically intense places in the world. It's only 20 miles across, but it's home to nearly 3% of the world's species. Development is strictly controlled. Everything is focused towards minimum impact on the environment. We're spending the night here. Tomorrow, Nick and I are bringing the kids trekking deep into the Ossa's virgin rainforest. I know the kids won't remember every detail of this trip, but the experience might mean that they value nature just that little bit more.
When you see colors like this in the rainforest that are really bright, that means that they're toxic. Okay, so they're enemies, for example, birds or lizards, would stay away from them. So that means I'm dangerous, don't touch me.
Local guide Eric Beita was born in Ossa.
From here on, we'll walk just in the river.
He's a photographer, diver and naturalist.
Is this a magical walk?
How often do you get to walk in a river, Kit?
Kit, look at this beautiful wall. Oh, that's a living wall. They pay good money to put this in the restaurants in New York and London.
During the rainy season, this little stream is a raging river. Eric is taking us on a hike to find a waterfall discovered just a few years ago.
Oh my goodness!
Nice.
Come and have a look, darling.
How do you like that?
Hey, look at that.
Oh wow!
Look at that.
Oh wow, this is beautiful. It's a waterfall.
It's a magical place, yeah?
Isn't it? Thank you.
There are very few places left in the world like Ossa. Until recently, people living in the forest had virtually no contact with the outside world.
It's a little different now, you know, when I grew up. My father used to be a hunter.
Oh, really?
You know, he used to go hunting. So sometimes I used to go with him. But now, you know, things have changed, you know. Actually, since they declared this area a protected area, hunting is not allowed in Costa Rica anymore, you know. Now what I do is I hunt the animals with my camera, you know.
That's much better, yeah.
Until a few years ago, local people were not allowed to bring tourists into the forest. But now the government permits a small number of tours. In return, guides like Eric act as forestry wardens, protecting the animals they used to hunt.
And I show, you know, tourists or visitors the places that I used to play as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is amazing. There's so few places left now on the planet where you can go for a day's hike and not see another person.
Sure.
It's brilliant.
It's a very special place, one of the most remote places in Costa Rica, actually.
Yeah. Amazing.
So it's amazing, yeah.
Eric has arranged for us to stay the night here, and Nick's taking the kids for a nap. But I'm not finished exploring yet.
It's hot. Tell you what though, this place is amazing. I mean, it's basic, it's just a few cabins in the wood, but this is proper ecotourism. You know, they're running everything off microhydro, which is somewhere down here. And I'm totally going to get my nerd on here because I love microhydro. It's brilliant. And what they're doing is they're just diverting a little bit of stream to get the head, because you need the height to get the pressure further down. So this water here, that's going down there and they're going to capture in a turbine further down, I bet. I'm going to see if I can find it. It's much clearer from here. You can see the pipes. The width of the pipe determines the flow rate, how much pressure you're going to get. And then it goes through there into this big box, which filters off all the rubbish that you get, the trees and twigs that would block the turbine. And then that's an overflow, which is very handy if you get a lot of rainfall, which you do in a rainforest. And then the pipes go down because the next thing you need is gravity, a big drop to drive the turbines. And I bet the turbines are down there. That's it. That's where the turbine is. I can hear it whirring away. This is what allows the lights to come on in my cabin up there. We're totally off-grid here in the middle of the forest. And it's amazing. You know, these people are running their whole operation off this one waterfall. But I've seen entire villages running off similar systems like this. Incredible.
Happy birthday to Kit. Happy birthday to you.
Blow them out, baby.
I hope Kit remembers his birthday party in the rainforest. Although right now he seems a bit more interested in his head torch.
You look like an explorer now.
Okay? Ready?
Go.
Go!
Are you talking to the frogs?
Yeah, I'm trying to attract the frogs. Usually male frogs call at night to attract the females, and you kiss it, like you giving kisses, you know? 2 times, 2 kisses. Perfect, very good, huh? Now you're a professional, come.
Here we go.
Here, many nocturnal creatures, especially spiders and frogs.
What, the eye shine?
They have the eye shine, yeah, so you can see that light shining back to your face, you know?
Oh, look, it's a tiny little frog. Yes, you're right.
Oh, there you go. Oh, look. Look what you just found. Oh, this is something amazing, guys. This is a glass frog. They're called glass frogs because they have translucent bodies.
Their bodies are see-through, darling, like glass.
You found it, huh? You're very good.
Darling. Can you see?
Thank you for finding this. This is very special.
He's absolutely gorgeous. I love him.
You can see the little eyes. You can see their stomach inside.
You see inside?
They're only found in primary forest.
A leaf.
Yeah, the amazing thing is if you were to put it on a glass, you know, you can see their heart beating inside. And you can see their stomach inside and also their skeleton. So they're very fragile frogs.
Aren't we lucky?
I love meeting people like Eric. He's taking active responsibility for his environment. Costa Ricans just seem to get it. In the past few decades, we humans have changed our planet beyond anything it's experienced in its 4.5 billion year history. But look what Costa Rica has done in just 50 years. It's replanted its rainforests, brought its endangered wildlife back from the brink of extinction, all while growing its economy. Costa Ricans took a conscious decision to restore and protect their environment. That's what Costa Rica has taught me, that this human age doesn't mean the inevitable loss of our wildlife. It really can be anything we want it to be.